Stage 6. Fire trucks. So, where's our red scarf? And who's this umbrella cutie? Well, that would be Hisui. She's mostly a palette swap with Hibana, but there's a few key differences between the two of them. The big one being a faster running speed and a bigger hitbox on her grounded attacks. Now, unlike with Hatsuma, where I'm aiming to kill enemies as fast as possible to keep my meter topped off, with Hisui I'm actually farming for combo hits for two reasons. One, the bigger the combo chain, the more points you get for your combo score. And depending on how big that combo score is, you can get upwards to 10 to 12,000 points for it, as opposed to Hatsuma's 0. 2. The bigger the combo chain, the more meter you gain for Hisui and Hibana's charge attack, and their charge attack functions very differently compared to Hatsuma's. Hisui's charge attack is a projectile that has 3 levels, and the higher the level, the more damage it does. Because of that, it's very important that I max out my meter first, and I'm going to do that by using my combo attack. You can do that by holding back on the left analog stick relative to Hisui's facing, and mashing the attack button. Another major difference in charge attack is that Hisui and Hibana's charge attack has invul frames after you fire it off. It also has complete invulnerability until you're able to move again. After that, you can be hit. Unlike Hatsuma's, where he has no invul frames on his charge attack whatsoever, meaning he can be hit out of it during startup, active, or recovery frames. Now you can see the glowing little pellets that I'm picking up throughout the stage. I'm actually doing that because they give you so much chakra for Hisui and Hibana, and it ranges from a small little section all the way up to a full bar, and it's just very useful. Now, if they're in a cluster near me, I really want to get the flying enemies out of the way first. Reason being is that they have the highest odds of hitting me out of the sky, unlike the Grey Motor Boys, and fortunately for them, we have very little to say about them. They're mostly just a non-issue. Now, here is where I can show off the superior air movement that is Hisui and Hibana's air kick, and what it has over Hatsuma. Now, for all intents and purposes, it's basically a double air dash that allows them to armor break and guard break enemies, although it takes a couple of hits with their kick as opposed to Hatsuma's Akujiki. Now, unfortunately, it does no damage whatsoever, so it's mostly used for utility and for extra movement. Now, I wasn't able to show it off since Hatsuma doesn't get any health bonuses during stage select, but Hisui and Hibana do. Now, why is that important? Because you could use those for bonus points. If you throw a kunai after the health bonus pickup, that's a free 5,000 points. And if you're playing for score, there's no real reason not to pick them up, it's just free points. Now, I'm sure you probably noticed this, but I'm taking the stage and, well, by extension, enemy mobs, really slow. I'm doing that because I want to bait the flying enemies into shooting me first so I can dodge accordingly. But if they decide to not shoot me, then I can go ham, and that's what I'm mainly looking out for. Sadly, the one thing you can't do with the air kick is change the direction. Once you are doing that air kick, you are committed to it, regardless of what direction you're going. You can't cancel out of the animation with the air dash, or with the air slash, or a kunai throw, or anything else for that matter. Since we're at the final stretch, I guess I should probably gear up to talk about the boss. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to let him speak for me. I will say this though. He's not really a fun fight. I will explain why I can't get the S rank with Hatsuma and why you're seeing Hisui instead. But that all circled back to the boss. So if you've seen it every other fight, save for Kurahagane Alpha, where I wait for the minions to spawn in, kill the minions, and wait for the right chance to strike with a charge attack and get the Yoko. Well, that's not possible with Hatsuma. And that's because the boss spawns the menus and it's way too slow. By the time they spawn in for Hatsuma, I have 2/3 of a single bar, and that's not enough for the charge. But that's alright, Hisuya would get it done, and that's because it's boss time. And that's that. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed running it. And until then, see you next time.